2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And happy hump day. We are at Wednesday, and things improving.
Yes, we are tracking warmer temperatures, a little bit more sunshine today compared to the past few days, and hopefully we'll see more of it because it's now the earliest sunrise of the year, everyone. The sunrise right around 5:20 this morning. And the stretch lasts for a few days. As a matter of fact, we can zoom in on this and see exactly how long this lasts. Until around the 16th of June, that's when the sunrise starts to get a little bit later. This does not match up perfectly with the summer solstice on the 20th, but we'll still see early sunrises, very early sunrises until July and August. And a live look at our great sunrise camera of Oneonta, and unfortunately got a cloud layer still sticking around. That inversion does not want to go away just yet, but it will throughout the daytime today as dry air moves in from the west, and we'll see a lot more opportunity for some sunshine. Alive with the radar, things are quiet and dry. Local temperatures across central New York in the 50s this morning in the Mohawk Valley, 40s and 50s in the North Country, and in the southern valleys, a mix of low 50s, 50 in Skevis, 51 in Cooperstown. And for today, we're tracking temperatures climbing into the upper 60s to low 70s with a mix of some sunshine and clouds. We get a better shot for sunshine tomorrow, but we'll see some rain chances creep back in by tomorrow evening and into Friday. We'll talk about those rain chances and potentially a warm-up, a big one heading into next week in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Two candidates are running for the Democrat.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning. Welcome back. The time now is 5:11. We're getting you set as you head out the door this morning on your Munson Commute Cast. And to start, let's take a live look along the arterial in downtown Utica early this morning. Roads a bit less damp compared to yesterday morning. We're not tracking plenty of drizzle like we saw yesterday, but of course traffic slowly picking up, but it's still early in the morning rush hour. And traffic flow across central New York, no accidents to report, no additional road closures at this point. The road closure is still in effect for Route 20 just outside of Winfield. Planned road work for the next few weeks. And so today we're talking about a cloudy start. Temperatures in the 50s, overall pretty dry. And this afternoon will also remain pretty dry as well, with better chances for sunshine, a mix of sun and clouds, and highs approaching the upper 60s to low 70s. We're tracking warmer days and sunnier days ahead in that forecast in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Happening today, Enchanted Forest Water Safari opens for the season. And for the first time in almost 50 years, the Old Forge Park is under new ownership. Innovative Attraction Management out of Florida now owns it, and there are new policies, including a limit on outside food and beverages. Season ticket holders and groups renting a pavilion will be allowed to bring in a cooler, but that's it. Calypso's Cove next door is already open for the season. Sylvan Beach Amusement Park was supposed to open on Friday, but that's now delayed. The Midway posted to Facebook that opening day is now set for June 29th. Because owners changed the date, they extended the early bird ticket pricing to June 21st. As for why opening day is delayed, we are told, quote, unforeseen circumstances. The Midway is open Thursday through Sunday, but for 4th of July week, the rides will be running on Wednesday. The time right now is 5:13. Here's
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. We are starting our earliest sunrise of the year. The sunrise officially taking place in just a few minutes. And here we go, the sunrise. And where is it? Well, we got some clouds moving in already. So as with typical central New York weather, we want some major event. And how about clouds interfering? But this is not going to only be a one-day event. The earliest sunrise of the year will span over the next few days. We have a better shot of seeing that early sunrise by tomorrow. A live look at our KTVE Tower camera. Generally overcast skies early this morning, but a comfortable start with lower humidity and temperatures in the low 50s. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Most of the region's entirely dry, an isolated shower just in parts of Fulton County out near the Albany area. Those of you who have motorcycles, I think it'd be a great day to take your bike to work with dry weather, dry roads, calm winds, low humidity, and temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s by this afternoon with not extremely hot conditions either. So I think it was one of the best days to go out and bring it to work as well. And the next 12 hours shaping up to be a mix of sunshine and clouds and temperatures climbing into the upper 60s to low 70s. It's going to be a pretty pleasant day, not too warm, but not too cold. And on our Skycast, we can see this mix of sun and clouds taking place today. As we mentioned yesterday, an inversion is keeping moisture near the surface, keeping these clouds stubborn. Now, this will begin to break down following this evening and tonight as warmer air moves in and starts to break down that lid in the atmosphere. Then we'll see some sunshine for tomorrow. Honestly, it's a very sunny start to the day. I'd bank on having a clear shot of seeing that early sunrise for tomorrow. By the afternoon, highs climb into the low 80s. And then potentially an isolated shower or thunderstorm in the evening, but most of the day is entirely dry. Then, as we head into Friday, a bit more unsettled with scattered showers and storms. But our attention turns to next week. We have data pointing to the fact that a heat wave will arrive here in central New York. Believe it or not, we've got so many cool days of the past few that we're wondering where is that warmth? Well, it's coming by next week based off of these signals. Now, for today, though, no extreme heat. 70s, sun and clouds tonight, a low 54 with mostly clear skies. But your 7-day forecast, take a list right here. It's 83 the high tomorrow, 73 Friday. Beautiful Father's Day weekend so far. I am really looking forward to the fact that we can have a completely dry weekend. But following that, Monday and Tuesday, look at that warm-up, 90s with heat indices maybe in the mid-90s, and that could be a multiple-day stretch of hot weather. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:04.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And you were mentioning a warm-up is on the way after a few days. People complaining about how cold it was, but it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it was also early June or early to mid-June, and wondering why it's 50s and cloudy. But we've got, yes, warmer days on the way. Also, longer days on the way as well. We're now entering our earliest stretch of sunrises. As a matter of fact, the exact dates of those start today. Now, unfortunately, the scene of the sunrise this morning, as you saw in the KTVE Tower camera moments ago, very bleak. We're not seeing widespread sunshine early this morning, but don't worry, we've got several more days of this early sunrise. It's not only peaking for one day, it lasts until the 16th of June. Oneonta, cloudy right now and dry on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Current local temperatures as you wake up in the 50s in the Mohawk Valley, 40s and 50s up in the North Country, and to the south, 50s in Cooperstown, Norwich, and Sherburne. And today, we're talking about a little bit of a warm-up approaching the upper 60s to low 70s, but we've got warmer temperatures on the way tomorrow, and maybe even warmer ones as we head into the middle of next week. We'll talk about that potential heat wave next week, as well as that important Father's Day weekend forecast in the minutes ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Hunter Biden has been found guilty on
Welcome back. We are showcasing our photo of the day on this Wednesday, and this one was submitted to us again on our website, WKTV.com. And what a great photo in middle field, and the title of it submitted was The Bambi of Spring. And I've seen a lot more fawns popping up here and there. The deer are out. And a reminder, though, especially as we head into the evenings, to watch out for deer, especially in areas that they'll just run out from the side of the road. This is right around the time where they're still feeding. And again, it's adorable shot here, and don't want to be hitting fawns on the roadways. A lot of them are popping up again, but again, an amazing photo right there submitted to us in Middlefield in Otsego County. If you want to submit a photo like that one, send the link WKTV.com/weather/pics. Local temperatures this morning are in the 40s and 50s. 54 Whitesboro, 54 in Hessville, 47 up in Inlet. And so it's a cool-ish start to the day today, but looking quiet with mostly cloudy, if not overcast skies. But that's not the trend as we head to the next few days. Tomorrow's high will be in the low 80s. Then a relative cool down, but we'll be sure to take 70s by mid-June any day of the week or any day of the year. And following that, a heat wave arrives by next week with temperatures climbing to the upper 80s, and then by the middle of next week, potentially the low to mid 90s. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Well, heavy rain and flooding are causing delays for travelers in South Florida. Flash flood and severe thunderstorm warnings were issued by the National Weather Service for portions of Miami-Dade and Broward counties on Tuesday, with total rainfall expected to be in the double digits in some areas by the end of this week. More than 290 flights have been impacted at the Fort Lauderdale airport and more than 400 at Miami. That flood watch is in effect in South Florida through tonight. The time right now is 5:40.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. This Wednesday starting out cloudy but dry, and temperatures starting out in the 50s, warming up a little bit warmer than yesterday into the upper 60s, low 70s. A live look outside from traffic camera atop the Burstone Road exit, looking at the arterial this morning. Traffic, of course, looking pretty okay starting out, continuing to increase throughout the morning next few hours. And temperature this morning, 53 degrees, comfortable humidity. However, as we head into the next few days, this will be on the rise. More on that in just a second. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Things are quiet and dry all across the Mohawk Valley. And if you're needing or planning on using the AC, don't quite need it today, but you might need it tomorrow, maybe Friday. Won't need it for Father's Day weekend, but you might need it as we approach the middle of next week. Now, this is all due to higher temperatures, but also higher humidity. Today, low humidity. Tomorrow and Friday, humid conditions. Dew points upper 50s, low 60s. And that humidity might linger into parts of Saturday at this point, but for now, we're going to leave it at the muggy side for the start of the Father's Day weekend. But heading straight to our Skycast. Today, generally overcast skies. Our model here is a little bit more optimistic on that early morning sunshine than what we're thinking right now. But by this afternoon, a mix of some sunshine and clouds expected, dry weather, temperatures climbing into the low 70s. Now tonight, mainly clear skies. That inversion lifts. We're going to break all that cloud layer we've been seeing for the past few days. And then by tomorrow, a warm start, 60s in the morning, then by the 80s in the afternoon. We can't rule out a stray isolated thunderstorm tomorrow evening, but most of the day is going to be entirely dry. Then following that, we're going to see a lot more in terms of rain chances with scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day Friday, lingering into the afternoon and evening. Now, our attention also turns to the middle of next week. We are tracking the potential for a heat wave. High pressure sets up just off the coast of the U.S., dragging in high heat and humidity that could bring temperatures climbing to as high as the 90s. But for today, though, high as 71, sunshine and clouds tonight. A low 54 with mostly clear skies. 7-day forecast. Isolated thunderstorm possible tomorrow evening. Scattered showers and storms on Friday. Father's Day weekend just looking absolutely fantastic at this point with plenty of sunshine, 70s, beautiful weather. But that warm-up arrives by next week, approaching the 90s by Tuesday and Wednesday. Gary?
We're looking at a heat wave.
Yes, first heat wave of the season.
Eric, thanks. Well, the State Education Department is proposing 2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And it's hump day, and it seems like we're just getting over that hump of that cool weather.
Yes, it's been cool, well below average for June standards, but warmer days are on the horizon. It's a tale of more summertime conditions, but also today is notable because it's the earliest sunrise of the year. But let's take a look at that sunrise early this morning. Well, a bit underwhelming, isn't it? Cloudy skies, as typical of Central New York. We get a major event like this, it's cloudy out. Go figure. But this is not the only day to see the earliest sunrise. Going back to our graphic here, the earliest sunrise continues not only for today, but until the 16th. That's when our sunrise gets a little bit later on in the year. Surprisingly, it doesn't line up perfectly with the summer solstice. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Entirely dry across the Mohawk Valley. We're just tracking a pop-up shower. Looks to appear in parts of Fulton County, just to the east of Gloversville. But for now, local temperatures in the 50s in the Mohawk Valley, 50s and 40s in the North Country, and to the south, 50s in the southern valleys, 50 in Skenevis, 51 in Cooperstown. And today, we're tracking warmer temperatures climbing into the 70s by this afternoon with a mix of sun and clouds and a better shot for warmer temperatures in the days ahead. We'll talk about potential for a heat wave next week, as well as that Father's Day weekend forecast in the minutes ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Now to Decision 2024. Two candidates are running.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:11. We're getting you set as you head to the door on your Munson Commutecast. And to start out today, we are taking a live look along the arterial. Traffic, of course, continuing to increase, but the roads looking dry, drier than yesterday morning. And we're going to see milder conditions this morning, temperatures in the 50s, and then warming up into the 60s, eventually low 70s by this afternoon. A live look at traffic flow data coming in right now. Of course, no accidents to report, no road closures to report of this morning as well, aside from the current one taking place along Route 20, which is still in effect for the next few weeks, right outside of Route 51. Again, the detour going up Route 51, Jordanville Road, then down Route 28. And so for today, we're talking about temperatures in the 50s to start. Cloudy skies this afternoon. We'll climb into the low 70s with a mix of some sunshine and clouds and dry weather. Now, following today, we've got warmer days ahead. We'll talk about that in that forecast in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. It's a big day up north, and Enchanted Forest Water Safari opens for the season. And for the first time in almost 50 years, the Old Forge Park is under new ownership. Innovative Attraction Management out of Florida now owns it, and there are new policies, including a limit on outside food and beverages. Season ticket holders and groups renting a pavilion will be allowed to bring in a cooler, but that's it. Calypso's Cove next door is already open for the season. Meanwhile, Sylvan Beach Amusement Park was supposed to open on Friday, but that's now delayed. The Midway posted to Facebook that opening day is now set for June 29th. Now, because owners changed the date, they have extended the early bird ticket pricing to June 21st. As for why opening day is delayed, we are told, quote, unforeseen circumstances. The Midway is open Thursday through Sundays throughout the summer, but during the 4th of July week, the rides will be running on Wednesday as well. And the time right now is 6.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Today, starting out cloudy. As with the past several days, this pattern has been continuing on, but today is a day where the clouds will continue to decrease as we head into the afternoon and evening. A live look in Cooperstown right now. It's not too bad of a start, currently 51 degrees and comfortable humidity. The silver lining in this cooler weather pattern is Humidity not unbearable, but that humid stretch will come to an end as we approach the next few days. Currently 53 at Griffith Rome, and across parts of central New York, upper 40s to as high as the mid to upper 50s. A live look at the Artful Battery Storm Tracker 2, a live radar. Things are quiet and dry all across central New York. Isolated shower just outside of the Albany region in Fulton County. And humidity, again, it's comfy today, but as you head into tomorrow and Friday, it will be on the rise as a warm front moves in, bringing in warmer temperatures, as well as, again, that higher humidity. And that will linger in at least at the start of Father's Day weekend. But if you're enjoying not using the AC, well, you might have to actually put them in or turn them on as we head into next week with potential for a heat wave. We'll talk about that in just a few moments. But regardless of the potential heat wave next week, there is higher heat and humidity as we head into tomorrow and Friday. Our Skycast showing clouds this morning. Our model a bit more optimistic on sunshine to start out the day. Our thoughts are still this inversion is keeping things cloudy and overcast for much of central New York. So I doubt we're going to see a whole lot of sunshine early this morning. But this afternoon, we'll see a mix of sunshine and clouds and temperatures climbing into the upper 60s to as high as the low 70s. Then tonight, clear skies move in. Believe it or not, we'll actually see plenty of clearing. And then by tomorrow, mostly sunny to partly cloudy, highs climbing into the 80s in the Mohawk Valley. Potential for an isolated thunderstorm later on in the evening, but most of the day is dry. Then scattered to widespread showers and thunderstorms arrive by Friday. Our eyes turn to next week, a heat wave potentially, as high pressure sets up just off of the Atlantic coast, and that could bring with it temperatures soaring into the 90s by Tuesday and Wednesday. But for today, though, high is 71, sunshine and clouds. Tonight, a low of 54 with mostly clear skies. 7-day forecast, isolated thunderstorm in the evening tomorrow, otherwise mainly dry. Dry for Father's Day weekend. It's so far looking fantastic. And following that, the summertime heat makes its return. 90s on Tuesday and into Wednesday. Gary?
Oh my, the heat wave is a-coming.
Here it comes.
Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And you were just checking out your phone right there, and you're talking about some kind of new cologne.
Yes, that's right. And, and this is kind of funny because I saw it on my feed, and it was Pepsi mixed with Bobby Flay, and it's a grill cologne.
Oh my.
It's called Smoked.
Just in time for summer.
Just ever summer. So I guess if you want to smell like the grill and Pepsi, I guess you want to wear that cologne. I'm just shocked at the combination.
But the grill and Pepsi today might not be a bad idea.
Yes, that's right. It's drying out with some more sunshine. But something else to mention too, it's going to be the earliest sunrise of the year. June 12th, the start time of the earliest sunrises, and this will continue not just for today, but until the 16th. So we got a few days of seeing it, and the reason why I'm mentioning that is because we have a serious lack of sunshine this morning from our cameras across central New York. Oneonta showing overcast skies, low-lying clouds, and on the radar, it's dry, but again, it's cloudy. Temperatures this morning in the 50s in the Mohawk Valley, 55 Westmoreland, 47 degrees in Inlet to the south, 54 Hamilton, 51 in Cooperstown. And today we're talking about warming temperatures into the 60s and 70s, a mix of sun and clouds, low humidity. But the humidity will be on the rise as we head into the next few days, as well as warmer temperatures. We'll talk about the warming trend tomorrow, the Father's Day weekend forecast, and a potential heat wave next week, all in the minutes ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Hunter Biden has been
Welcome back. We are taking a look at our photo of the day on this Wednesday, and so far it's looking at a pretty nice photo submitted to us in Middlefield of a Bambi of spring. The caption of the photo, it was submitted to us by a viewer who was out for a walk, and just look at that adorable little fawn right there. Deer are out all across the region for this spring and eventually early summer. So again, watch out for deer as you are driving, especially in the evenings when they are out and about. If you want to submit a photo like this one, send it to the link WKTV.com/weather/pics. Temperatures this morning are starting out in the 40s and 50s, 54 Whitesboro, 55 Hessville, 51 up in Lake Pleasant. Same thing in Cooperstown with 51 degrees. But as we head to the next few days, it will feel a lot more like June and potentially July, with 80s approaching by tomorrow and then cooling down over the weekend, arriving back into the 80s by Monday, and a potential heat wave by next week. We'll talk about that in that forecast in the minutes ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Heavy rain and flooding are causing major delays for travelers in South Florida. Flash flood and severe thunderstorm warnings were issued by the National Weather Service for portions of Miami-Dade and Broward counties on Tuesday, with total rainfall expected to be in the double digits in some areas by the end of the week. More than 290 flights have been impacted at the Fort Lauderdale airport and more than 400 flights at the Miami airport. That flood watch is in effect in South Florida through tonight. The time right now is 6:45. Here's a live look at downtown Utica once again. Eric will be in with his full Storm Tracker 2 forecast coming up, along with more news straight ahead right here on News Channel 2 at sunrise.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, everyone. The time now is 6:49, and we are starting out the day with cloudy but dry conditions. Now, sunshine will begin to move in as you approach the afternoon. Taking a live look outside, though, along Oriskany Boulevard in downtown Utica. Traffic again picking up as the morning rush hour continues to arrive, and 53 degrees officially in Griffis and Rome. Still low to mid 50s in parts of the Mohawk Valley this morning with comfortable humidity. That's the silver lining in what's been a cloudy and cool stretch the past few days. But that's the outlier. As we head into the next several days, into the weekend and into next week, we are tracking much warmer weather. Our sky watchers checking in this morning. Bob in Clinton, 55. Mike in New Hartford, 54. Todd out in Westdale also with 54 degrees. Bill and Sean up in the North Country checking in the 40s, 48 with Bill and 46 with Sean. And in the Southern Valleys, temperatures in the 50s, 52 Mark in Milford and 52 with Scott out in Edmiston. And the radar right now is quiet and dry all across the Mohawk Valley, and we're expecting dry weather for the entire day today, as well as low humidity. But that will change as we head into Thursday and Friday with higher levels of humidity. Warm front moves in, and of course, warmer temperatures expected as well. So if you've been just thankful that the ACs haven't been on the past few days, you might reconsider turning them on maybe tomorrow, but you could still hold off Friday and, of course, Father's Day weekend, but you might definitely need it as we head into next week with potential for a heat wave. And so our Skycast right now showing 50s cloudy skies this afternoon, a mix of sunshine and clouds, and temperatures climbing into the low 70s. 5 p.m. onwards tonight, much clearer conditions. And then by tomorrow, a warm start. 60s in the morning, followed by 80s in the afternoon, and most of the day is entirely dry, except for the potential of an isolated thunderstorm in the evening ahead of a front, which will bring with it widespread rain showers and potentially a few thunderstorms heading into Friday. And this will last for pretty much most of the day. We could dry out, though, as we head into Friday evening. But as we mentioned, potential for a heat wave next week. The signals are there. We've got multiple long-range data models coming in that are indicating that high pressure sets up off the coast of the Atlantic or of the Northeast U.S., and that could drag in with it higher temperatures and higher humidity. And so for today, high is 71, a mix of sun and clouds. Tonight, a low 54 with mostly clear skies. 7-day forecast, isolated thunderstorm possible tomorrow, scattered showers and storms for Flag Day. Then as we head into Saturday and Sunday for Father's Day weekend, so far looking pretty nice. Temperatures in the 70s, approaching though the 90s by next week. Heat wave is coming, Gary.
Heat wave, heat wave.
Heat wave.
Eric, thanks. The State Education Department is proposing some
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on the CW11. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And get ready for a nice warm-up after a few cool days that we've seen.
Yes, cool stretch, warmer days ahead.
Good.
Today, not too bad, although it's a cloudy start, but one thing to mention too, it is the earliest sunrise of the year. So the earliest sunrises begin today, and they'll last for the next few days. But following June 16th, unfortunately, the sunrises will start to turn later and later on in the day. But the longest day of the year, don't worry, is not until the 20th of June this year. A live look at Oneonta. Well, the sunrise covered by a blanket of clouds over much of the central New York area. An inversion keeping things pretty cloudy over much of central New York. And the radar is quiet and dry this morning. Temperatures in the 50s. 57 Westernville, 54 Dolgeville, Little Falls, 40s up in the North Country into the south, 50s in the southern valleys. And today we're talking about temperatures starting out in the 50s, climbing into the upper 60s, low 70s with a mix of sun and clouds by the afternoon if we're lucky. And then following that, we've got a better shot for sun tomorrow, warmer temperatures, and we also have a preview of what we can expect heading into Father's Day weekend. Details on that in the minutes ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Two candidates are running.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. The time now is 7:23, and we are tracking cloudy skies this morning, along with temperatures in the 50s. A live look outside from our Nexus Center camera, looking at downtown Utica. Overcast skies across the region and temperatures in the 50s. Starting out, the silver lining in this cool stretch of weather has been the low humidity. Comfortable conditions across central New York today. And along with that too, even though it is a cooler start, we'll continue to see warmer temperatures arrive by tomorrow and into next week. Skywatchers checking in. Mike and Hartford 54, Bob and Clinton 55, Todd and Westdale also at 54, Bill and Sean in the North Country in the 40s, Jeff and Mohawk 54, and in the South 52, Mark and Milford 52 as well, with Scott in Edmiston. In our Skycast, live radar showing dry conditions all across central New York with low humidity today, but humidity will be on the rise as we head into tomorrow and Friday, with dew points approaching the upper 50s to low 60s. So although the air conditioner probably has gotten a break, you might want to turn it back on again tomorrow, and then definitely want to turn it on by the middle of next week. And so heading straight to our Skycast this morning, we've got some stubborn clouds across the region. Our model here is a bit more optimistic on skies clearing this morning. Our thoughts are that the clouds remain pretty persistent until around the afternoon. That's also a mix of sun and clouds and temperatures climbing into the upper 60s to low 70s. Then clear skies tonight. Lows will fall down into the low 50s, but rebounding quickly with the arrival of a warm front into the 60s by 8 to 9 a.m., reaching the 80s by the afternoon. Now, most of the day tomorrow is going to be entirely dry, but by the evening, we could see a passing shower, an isolated shower or thunderstorm. That will pass, will dry out again overnight, and then we'll see scattered showers and potentially a few thunderstorms roll through central New York by Friday. But following this, a trend next week, we could see much warmer than average temperatures as a potential heat wave arrives and highs climb into the 90s. Today, 71, sun and clouds. Tonight, a low 54 with mostly clear skies. 7-day forecast, 70s heading into Father's Day weekend, looking beautiful. Heat wave arrives.
The news with Gary Lipitor.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Lipitor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we begin today with some changes in the weather for the past few days. Chilly temperatures, and today, not too bad in the 70s.
Yeah, warming up into the 70s, and the clouds at this point are still persistent, but that will change come this evening and heading into tomorrow. In fact, behind us you can see cloudy skies across central New York. Cloudy skies, but we're starting to see a few glimpses of sunshine. And I'm going to turn our attention to the live satellite feed from the GO satellite way up in the sky. And we're detecting that cloud layer over pretty much all of central New York. But take a look at this right here. We've got some clearing heading in our direction. Now, we're not talking complete sunshine this afternoon, but a mix of sunshine and clouds. So I would say a 50-50 mix of that in the sky. Now, the radar is looking pretty dry across all of central New York this afternoon. Temperatures still in the 60s, but this afternoon, as the clouds begin to clear and warmer temperatures begin to move in, we'll be seeing more of those upper 60s, near 70-degree temperatures as we head throughout the afternoon. But again, today, highs upper 60s, low 70s, sunshine peeking out, clear skies. By tonight, we are tracking warmer days ahead and potentially a top 10 weekend. We'll talk about that Father's Day weekend forecast in the minutes ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Basketball legend Jerry.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back, everyone. The time now is 12:11, and we are still tracking these stubborn clouds. They are trying their best to dampen what will be a very nice day this evening and tomorrow. In fact, a live look outside from our traffic camera network looking at the arterial. We got overcast skies over the Mohawk Valley at this point, and temperatures in the 60s. But viewing the satellite feed coming in, we've got clearing arriving within the next few hours. It's not going to be wall-to-wall sunshine, but we're going to see a bit less of blankets of clouds and more so blue skies mixed in with clouds. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Everything is quiet and dry all across central New York this afternoon, and humidity is the silver lining in what's been a cool and cloudy stretch throughout the work week. It's been very comfortable outside. However, that will switch. Following this front arriving this evening, we'll start to see increases in humidity by Thursday and for Friday, with dew points in the upper 50s to low 60s. Humidity will begin to come to an end Saturday morning in what will be potentially the nicest weekend maybe all year. Low humidity, plenty of sunshine, and temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s. I'm giving both days for Father's Day weekend 5 stars. First time we've done that so far this year, and I think it's warranted. We've been waiting so long for completely dry weather, and as of now, it looks to hold for the majority of the weekend. On a Skycast this afternoon, mostly cloudy skies taper to a mix of sunshine and clouds this evening. Temperatures peaking into the low 70s. Then by tonight, clear skies move in, lows will fall only into the low 50s, upper 40s, because warm air moves in from a warm front. We climb back into the 60s by 8 a.m., 80s by noontime. It's going to be a warmer day tomorrow, almost as if the past few days never even happened. And then following that, we'll cool back down into the 70s by tomorrow, or at least by Friday, I should say, after some rain showers move through. Isolated thunderstorm Thursday evening. And of course, you can see here scattered showers and storms arriving throughout the day on Friday. Following this pattern, there is a signal of a heat wave arriving by next week. Now, fine-tuning the exact temperatures is still up in the air. It's about a week away, but we can tell you it's going to be warmer than average, and along with that too, upper 80s, low 90s, our best bet of seeing those temperatures, at least in that range. For today, though, high is 71, sunshine and clouds tonight, a low 54 with mostly clear skies. Your 7-day forecast. We've got an isolated thunderstorm tomorrow evening. That's really about it. Flag Day, showers and storms Father's Day weekend looking fantastic. 80s Monday and Tuesday, approaching near 90. Again, that heat wave arrives, but before that, could be looking at a 10 out of 10 Father's Day weekend.
Best weekend of the year, you said.
Great Father's Day gift. If I gave anything to give my dad for Father's Day, that would be it. Great weekend.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Well, a panel of advisors to the FDA is joining us now. And Eric, not too much sun yet, but at least it's a bit warmer.
Yes, a little warmer right now, 60s already, approaching the 70s by this afternoon. And it's a tale of more summer-like conditions. Let's start out with a 7-day forecast. This,
3 big days you got.
Yes, 3 big days. Flag Day on Friday, well, not quite the best weather day. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Father's Day, beautiful. Beautiful weather expected, but then...
An alert day.
Alert day.
Watch
Now, the
out.
reason why it's an alert day is because there's potential for, I would say, a lot of us not used to the heat just yet, because if we got 90-degree days with the added humidity, heat index values, or the feels like temperature could be in the mid-90s. So it's why we always exercise caution with days above 90 degrees. But let's head back to the current situation right now, which is cloudy, cooler temperatures in the 60s right now, but it's dry in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are tracking some sunshine out in western New York, and this will gradually move its way into central New York over the span of the next few hours, with potential for some sunshine in the evening mixing in with those clouds. But by tonight, clear skies regardless, and overnight lows falling down into the upper 40s to low 50s. We are tracking again that warm up and just how beautiful this weekend's going to be in that full forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Heavy rain and flooding are causing delays for travelers in South Florida. Flash flood and severe thunderstorm warnings were issued by the National Weather Service for portions of Miami-Dade and Broward counties on Tuesday, with total rainfall expected to be in the double digits in some areas by the end of the week. More than 290 flights have been impacted at the Fort Lauderdale airport and more than 400 at the Miami airport. Now, that flood watch is in effect in South Florida through tonight. Well, why drive around to see if packages are left on people's doors?
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. We are still tracking cloudy skies as of 12:41 with temperatures hovering in the 60s. But these clouds are gradually going to decrease throughout the afternoon and the evening. A live look in Cooperstown right now. Of course, a busy Main Street at this point with temperatures in Cooperstown actually just reaching 60 degrees. And in the Mohawk Valley, 63 other spots, mid-60s, but comfortable humidity. Now, the humidity will not be so comfortable as we head in the next few days as warmer temperatures and higher moisture content continue to move in. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, dry across all of central New York as of noontime right now. And again, it's comfortable out there for today, but as we head into tomorrow and Friday, humidity will continue to increase with dew points in the upper 50s to low 60s. But following a front on Friday, we'll actually see a decrease in humidity for Saturday and Sunday for Father's Day weekend. And this could be the nicest weekend all year. Low humidity, lots of sunshine, temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s. I'm putting it as a 5-star rating for both weekend days. And our Skycast this morning, a different sort of scene with 50s, cloudy skies. This afternoon, same story. However, we'll start to see this cloud cover begin to whisk away by this evening, with temperatures climbing up into the upper 60s to low 70s. Then by tonight, looking at clear skies, lows falling down into the upper 40s, low 50s, but then rebounding back up into the 60s by 8 a.m., 70s by 11 a.m., 80s by 1 p.m. So it's going to be another warm day across central New York tomorrow. Potential for an isolated thunderstorm in the evening, but most of the day is looking entirely dry. Then scattered showers and widespread showers arrive by Friday. A few thunderstorms embedded as well overall pretty unsettled, drying out though a little bit by the evening. But following this entire week's pattern, we could see a much stronger pattern of warmer temperatures arriving by next week. Roughly Tuesday through Thursday, Bermuda high sets up, and we could see temperatures surging into the upper 80s to low 90s. For today, though, high is 71, sun and clouds. Tonight, a low of 54 with mostly clear skies. 7-day forecast. Beautiful weekend expected Saturday and Sunday, 80s by Monday, approaching near 90 by Tuesday. And of course, there's an alert day icon on it. We're not talking about alert days being strong storms, damaging winds, just more so alert, letting people know that it's going to be hot and you want to limit your time outdoors.
That's for sure. 3 big days out of the next 5.
Yes, very busy stretch of weather for the next
sure.
few days.
Eric, thanks. Well, an Indianapolis restaurant is getting some...
Cast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Okay, so the sun wasn't out bright today, but it wasn't rainy.
Yes, and it's been a little bit warmer. It's been very slow baby steps. The problem is that we're going to take a really big step tomorrow. It is going to be much, much warmer than the last several days, and I think there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment here. 67 degrees is the current temperature, a little bit warmer than yesterday. Yesterday we were in the low to mid 60s, but yes, it has been dry and it's been pretty comfortable. And I actually spot some blue here. Are my eyes deceiving me? Is that real? We'll have to go out and check. 66 degrees is the current temperature as we take a live look in downtown Utica. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Stern Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It is dry. It's going to be much warmer tomorrow. About 20 degrees warmer. We're calling for highs in the low to mid 80s. So again, it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment here. Nice weekend ahead, though. It won't be quite as warm. Very comfortable over the weekend. And then next week, we are concerned. We're seeing some pretty strong signals of heat and humidity and a potential heat wave for the middle of next week. Mostly cloudy, temperatures in the 60s this evening. Again, we're tracking some much warmer weather ahead. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. No rain for this year's Hurricane.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking changes in the weather. It's been a very slow process, hasn't it? Seems like these clouds will never go away, but they will. It's just a matter of time. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Stern Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It is quiet. It's dry today. That is the difference compared to yesterday. And we're still looking at mostly cloudy skies. We've been occasionally seeing a few breaks of blue here in downtown Utica, but so far no glimpses of sunshine, at least in the city. The weather is going to warm up, and we were hoping to at least get into the 70s today to kind of ease our way forward, but it doesn't look to be the case. Tomorrow, calling for a high of 86, so that's a pretty big jump compared to the last several days, and you'll definitely notice it with the increasing levels of humidity. We're tracking some cooler weather for the weekend, but the weather should be nice, and cool is going to be relative. We're going to be in the 70s, so that's going to be a lot warmer than the last couple of days, and we're expecting plenty of sunshine, low humidity. And then next week, big time pattern change, humidity on the way. There's a small chance of a pop-up shower thunderstorm tomorrow. I'm not expecting severe weather with this. In fact, the risk is very low, but it's not zero, that we could have maybe some gusty winds and locally heavy rain. And again, that's all due to a cold front that will be arriving tomorrow night. Temperatures across the area warmer than the past couple of days, still in the upper 60s though. It's pretty comfortable out there though. Dallasville 66, Little Falls 67. Cooperstown 63, Oneonta 63, and Norwich with 64. Breaks in the overcast working in from the west. We will clear out tonight, and we should see some sunshine tomorrow as winds turn into the southwest. The overall weather pattern next week favors a significant shift in the weather pattern. Again, we're looking at hot conditions beginning on Tuesday, potentially spilling into most of next week. We'll see how it plays out. Tonight, clearing out. Overnight lows drop down into the low 50s. We'll start out tomorrow morning with partly sunny skies. And again, it warms up very quickly. We're into the low 80s by noontime. A slight chance of an isolated storm here. Again, just want to point out, skycast shouldn't be taken literally here. It's just the chance that 1 or 2 spots could see a thunderstorm. Temperatures climb into the low to mid 80s. And then there's going to be an increased chance for rain tomorrow night, as well as Friday, as a slow-moving front gets hung up in our area. Decreasing clouds tonight, low 52. Tomorrow, we're looking at, again, that isolated storm late in the day, 86 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Cloud showers linger into Friday, 72. Sunshine Saturday, 72. Father's Day, 77. Partly sunny. The weather looks beautiful over the weekend. And then next week looks hot. We've got back-to-back alert days for the heat, the humidity. We haven't dealt with it yet. Those air temperatures in the low 90s, we could be in the mid to perhaps upper 90s just based on the humidity and also the risk for some pop-up thunderstorms.
We haven't seen that in a long time.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Thank you, Bill. Well, it's one of the most...
Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
You know, all the hiking I've done, I've never encountered a bear. I've seen all kinds of videos of them around here, but we're tracking some warm weather here as we look ahead. I wanted to talk about the definition of a heat wave. You'll hear that term being thrown around, especially next week. We define a heat wave as 3 days in a row at or above 90 degrees. And around here, we don't get very many 90-degree days. I think I can say that we average about 5 to 6 per summer. Of course, it depends on the summer. To get 3 days in a row is extremely rare. So they are pretty uncommon around here. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're looking at dry conditions across the region, and it will continue to stay pretty comfortable this evening. If you're going to be taking the dog out for a walk, temperatures will be in the upper 60s. Tonight's featured dog, Duke, from New Hartford. This is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. We are tracking some much more weather and the potential of a heat wave next week. Look at the forecast is coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Happening tomorrow and Friday.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening and welcome back. We continue to track some cloudy weather in central New York, and we're patiently awaiting for the sunshine. Ripple of blue to be spotted in Oneonta, a current temperature of 63 degrees. We are dry on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It will be a dry and very comfortable evening ahead. Here's another view from downtown Utica. We are patiently awaiting for some sunshine here as we are seeing clearing skies to the west. So it's just a matter of time. Thankfully, we have some of the longest days of the year. The sunset is not until 8:45 these days. So I do think we'll get a little bit of it as we head towards the latter part of this evening. It has been quite a cloudy stretch. Very unusual for June. We're getting into the sunnier part of the year, so that's why it seems so obvious and so dramatic. We're not used to this cloud cover. This is a lot more typical of the winter time, but we will break out of it. And again, we're expecting some sunshine and much warmer weather tomorrow. In fact, warm enough tomorrow for the possibility of thunderstorms late in the day. Very small chance. Again, some isolated storms possible late in the day with, again, some gusty winds, locally heavy rain possible. Temperatures from our sky watchers checking in this evening: Whitesboro 65, Clinton 68, Norway 66, Inlet 60, Mark and Milford 63, Paynes Hollow 65. Temperatures are running about 3 to 5 degrees warmer today compared to yesterday. There's the clearing line starting to work into western Oneida County. You can see how things are progressing. So again, we are optimistic that skies will eventually clear out, and we expect to see some sunshine heading into tomorrow. Tonight, overnight lows drop down into the low 50s, partly sunny skies tomorrow. Significantly warmer. We're expecting temperatures to climb into the mid 80s. And then there's a small chance of a pop-up storm in the late afternoon or early evening. A better chance of showers and thunderstorms heading into Friday. This is where we're tracking a slow-moving cold front, potentially widespread rain as we head into Friday during the late morning, early afternoon. So if you have any Flag Day parades to attend, you're going to want to keep an eye on the weather. Again, dealing with some rain Friday afternoon. A significant change in the jet stream is expected next week, with the heat pump starting to build in and a potential heat wave beginning Tuesday. Tonight, decreasing clouds, a low of 52. Tomorrow, looking at sunshine and much warmer, 86 for the high, an isolated storm late. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Cooler on Friday, relatively compared to tomorrow. 73 for the high. Saturday, Sunday, a nice weekend. Less humidity, very comfortable. Temperatures in the 70s, 86 on Monday, and then it's looking hazy, hot, and humid. We've got alert days out for the temperature as we climb into the low 90s, probably feeling more like mid to upper 90s with the humidity. We'll be right back.
Forecast at 6. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Very comfortable day across central New York. Temperatures are in the upper 60s, a little bit warmer than yesterday. And we're getting some reports of sunshine. We're getting very excited to see that. In fact, look at some breaks in the overcast as we take a live look in downtown Utica. A temperature of 66 degrees. It will stay dry this evening and skies will gradually clear out. It is going to be a much different day tomorrow. We're expecting much warmer weather, most likely about 15 to 20 degrees warmer compared to today. We're looking at a nice weekend ahead, very comfortable sunshine, and then get ready. We're likely going to be experiencing a heat wave or close to a heat wave as we head into next week with big changes in the weather ahead. Mostly cloudy this evening, again, some breaks of sunshine. We're tracking those warmer temperatures ahead. A look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The city of Utica will not be continuing.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We're tracking big changes in our weather over the next 24 hours. It's going to go from spring to the middle of summer in just 24 hours. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It is looking quiet. It's been a dry and generally cloudy day. We've been very patient and anxiously awaiting the sunshine. And here it is. We're getting some breaks in the overcast as we take a look in downtown Utica. And there's clearing to the west. You can see more blue skies in the distance. So I am optimistic that we will see a little bit of sunshine before it sets. Thankfully, we have these long days. The sun doesn't set until almost 8:45, so that gives us more than 2 hours to enjoy it. Looking at much warmer weather tomorrow. We were hoping that it would be warmer today just to kind of soften the blow because it's 86 for the high tomorrow. It does cool down for the weekend, though. It will be very comfortable Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures in the 70s, low humidity. I think a lot of folks will enjoy that. And then we're back into more heat and humidity. In fact, it's really going to ramp up heading into next week. Very small chance of a pop-up shower or thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon, so just a heads up. We're thinking a general 20% chance or less across the area. Whitesboro, 65 degrees. Micah New Hartford, 67. Cassville, 65. Norway, 66. Mohawk, 66. Milford checking in with 63. We think that temperatures will actually be warmest within the next hour, which is a little unusual because we're expecting the sunshine to come out. I think a lot of places will pop into the upper 60s, maybe even 70 before the sun sets here this evening. You can see the clearing line slowly working in from the west. The winds turn into the west, and again, that brings in some warmer weather as we head into tomorrow. Skies clear out tonight. Overnight lows drop down into the low 50s. Partly sunny skies tomorrow, and again, much warmer, low 80s by noontime. I think most of us make it into the mid-80s tomorrow afternoon. A slight chance of a pop-up storm in the afternoon. A cold front arrives as we head into Friday, so if you have any Flag Day plans, plan on some wet weather, especially in the late morning to early afternoon. Temperatures will be in the low 70s. A pattern change is expected as we head into early next week. We get into something called a Bermuda High, which is high pressure along the Atlantic, which serves as a heat pump, bringing in heat and humidity. Decreasing clouds tonight, low of 52. Tomorrow, much warmer, a chance of an isolated storm in the late afternoon, 86. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Rain on Friday, especially in the morning, 73. A nice weekend ahead. Plenty of sunshine Saturday, 72. 77 Sunday, low humidity. And then that changes. We're into the mid-80s Monday. We've got alert days out for Tuesday and Wednesday due to the heat and humidity. Air temperatures in the low 90s. We could be talking about the heat index maybe in the mid-90s.
Wow.
You know, we talk about taking extra water for when you're running and getting training for the body. Just walking or doing anything now is the time to start drinking more when it gets hot.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Thanks, Bill. And we just heard from Kirk. And now for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis. Beautiful sunset out there. The sun finally came out today.
It did, and it was out longer than yesterday.
Yep.
And we had a gorgeous sunset. This is right on Smith Hill. This is from our CAB Tower Cam.
Nice.
We have we broadcasted this live on Facebook. So if you want to go to Facebook, search for WKTV Weather, you can scroll across the timeline and re-watch it for yourself if you missed it. We are tracking some warmer weather ahead. finally, it seems like it's been forever since it's gotten warm. Actually, it's only been a few days, but it's been a cloudy, cool 3 days here in central New York, and we are looking forward to some changes ahead. In fact, we're going to go to the other side of the coin. We're going to go from cooler than average temperatures to much warmer than average temperatures. And in fact, next week we might be having a heat wave. A heat wave is 3 days in a row at or above 90 degrees. It's very hard to do around here, but it is possible. Current temperature 56 degrees, clear skies, light winds. Heading into tonight, skies remain mostly clear. It's dry in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're expecting overnight lows in the low 50s. Expecting a lot of sunshine tomorrow, much warmer temperatures, and again turning hot as we look ahead to next week. Look at the forecasts coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Some mixed news on the economy.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Finally getting a chance to clear out tonight, and the stage is set for a beautiful day tomorrow. It's going to be a lot warmer than it's been lately. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Downtown Utica, temperature of 57 degrees with skies clearing out. It is going to be cool tonight. Wouldn't be surprised if a few spots briefly dipped into the upper 40s here. It's been a cloudy stretch of weather lately because of cool air that's been settling in. The weather patterns will finally change, and we're heading towards sunnier days ahead. Take a look at the sunset this evening. This is another view of it from Dennis Baldwin. This is in Munnsville. A beautiful shot there. Again, we were fortunate enough to see some sunshine today before it set. By the way, sunset nowadays 8:40, so pretty late. We have the risk of a few pop-up thunderstorms tomorrow. The overall risk of severe weather is low. This is more likely to produce some thunder, some lightning, and maybe a brief wind gust. Timing would be the late afternoon to early evening, and it's only a slight chance, which means most of us are expected to stay dry tomorrow. So you look at the radar and satellite image, again, finally those clouds dissipating, and we're going to see clear skies tonight and some sunshine tomorrow. This is part of a cold front, which will be arriving tomorrow night. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. Clear skies, overnight lows drop down into the low 50s. Partly sunny skies tomorrow, noticeably warmer. Temperatures already in the low 80s by noontime. We climb into the mid 80s in the afternoon. There is the chance of a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. A better bet for thunderstorms tomorrow night as well as Friday. For Flag Day, I think the weather is unsettled, especially in the morning. More in the way of widespread rain. Temperatures climb into the low 70s. We do get a chance to clear out late Friday. The jet stream changes. It's comfortable over the weekend, but early next week, we get into something called a Bermuda high. That's high pressure off the Atlantic coast that serves as a heat pump, which will be making our weather hot as we head into next week. Significantly above average here for several days in a row. Decreasing clouds tonight, low 52. Tomorrow, an isolated storm, 86 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Temperatures will drop into the 70s here as we head into the weekend. A beautiful weekend ahead. Low humidity, very comfortable, cool at night, warm during the day. And then we head into next week. Summer, full blast, 86 Monday, 92 on Tuesday and Wednesday. Those alert days just to remind people to take it easy on those days. Stay hydrated. We don't want people to get hurt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hydrated and cool. Thanks, Bill. Take a look at this. Yeah, it's a bare sun. Time now for our first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Great sunset again tonight. We had more sun today than we did yesterday.
Yeah, beautiful shot. This is right from our tower cam. Beautiful sunset, and we're going to be looking forward to more of these as we move along.
Yeah.
It took pretty much the entire day to get the sun, but we finally did it, and we are expecting a significant change in the weather pattern over the next couple of days. And it starts tomorrow as temperatures climb into the mid-80s. Looking ahead, next week, we have the possibility of seeing a heat wave. A heat wave is 3 days in a row at or above 90 degrees. It's very hard to do around here to really focus in on that definition. You got to think about how many days we actually hit 90 at Rome. It's about 5 to 6 in any given summer. To do that 3 days in a row, Again, pretty uncommon. We might have a chance of doing that next week. We're thinking either the time frame would be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Clear tonight, low of current temperature at 53, and tonight we pretty much expect temperatures to hold steady. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Skies remain clear. Warmer air will start to work in as we head into tomorrow. We've got to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Some mixed news in the
WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Dry across the region. Another cool day today, although it was warmer than the past couple of days. We made it into the upper 60s. Clouds were very, very stubborn today, but we finally cleared out, and we're going to hold on to clear skies here as we head into tonight as well as tomorrow. And it's been a very gloomy weather pattern. It's been an extended period of cloud cover, which is very unusual for June. June is a lot sunnier than what we've been experiencing so far, and we are going to get there. In fact, the extended outlook is calling for a lot more sunshine ahead. Another beautiful view of the sunset this evening. This is in Munnsville from Dennis Baldwin. Again, it was nice to see some sunshine today, despite the extensive clouds earlier. There is a chance of a pop-up shower or a thunderstorm tomorrow. The overall severe weather risk looks relatively low. The chance of thunderstorms in general looks relatively low, but it's not zero. So you look at the radar and satellite image, clearing skies this evening. We've got high pressure that's going to temporarily build in. It doesn't last very long. This is our next weather maker. It's a cold front that will be arriving tomorrow night. But we will see that warm-up take place ahead of the front as it moves in. Tonight, looking at clear skies, overnight lows drop down into the upper 40s to low 50s. So another cool start to the day tomorrow, but you are going to feel a big difference taking place throughout the morning time. We're going to warm up. In fact, by lunchtime, already near 80 degrees in Utica. We'll make it into the mid-80s in the afternoon, and again, there will be the chance of a pop-up shower or a thunderstorm, and it could be anywhere in our area, not necessarily over Utica like it's showing up on Skycast, but we are tracking the better chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night and also Friday. In fact, a cold front moving in Friday morning is expected to bring widespread rain. So if you have any plans for Flag Day, maybe going to a parade, you're going to want to grab the umbrella. Again, we're looking at widespread rain in the morning, maybe even some thunder and lightning too. Temperatures Friday afternoon look to cool off. The jet stream pattern changes. It looks dry, comfortable over the weekend, but then a Bermuda high takes over. That's high pressure parked off the Atlantic coast, and this is going to serve as a heat pump with a southwest wind for multiple days in a row, expecting much warmer weather and the potential of a heat wave as we head into early next week. Decreasing clouds tonight, low temperature of 52. Tomorrow, we're looking at, again, sunshine in the morning, slight chance of a thunderstorm, 86 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. A nice weekend ahead. Saturday and Sunday featuring plenty of sunshine. Temperatures in the 70s, 86 on Monday, and then possible heat wave next week. Alert days for the high heat and humidity. I know not everybody gets affected the same way, but better safe than sorry. Take it easy.
Absolutely. Always better to err on the side of caution.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Take a look at this.